Welcome to the neighborhood. February is Rare Disease Month, and today we're talking about a rare disease that affects nearly 100,000 people in the US and millions more around the world. That's not small, that's a lot of people, and today, I'd love to introduce you to someone who knows a lot about it and what can be done to help patients with sickle cell. So let's get started. Oh, and before I introduce her, I have to tell you, I've been asking her about her yard art ever since she moved in. She's constantly adding new pieces and she built it herself. When I started asking questions, I was really surprised.
So, I know you've been asking me about what I build, and my yard art is definitely a fun hobby, but what's even better is that I also get to build things in my real job, and it's super important. I work in the bone marrow blood cell factory, and it's inside the bones of the person I help. There I'm responsible for making blood cells, like you. You're an immune cell, but I also make platelets and red blood cells. I'll show you a little more in my workshop. Okay, so this is my workshop. I have all kinds of blueprints here to build the blood cells from. Each one needs to be shaped just right, so I follow instructions very carefully. If something goes wrong, the person who depends on me might be affected. But you know what? There was a time when one tiny part of my blueprint wasn't quite right. Just one small letter. And when I followed it, the red blood cells that I built didn't come out round and flexible. They were shaped differently. And that small shape change made a big difference for the person depending on them. It wasn't because I didn't care. I was just building from the instructions I had. That's what happens in sickle cell disease. When those cells with the wrong shape start flowing through veins, they would get into a traffic jam, and it caused a lot of pain for the person that I built the cells for. You know what's really cool? Scientists have found a way to help cells like me who have that typo in our blueprint. To get the help I needed, first, I was collected from my person's bloodstream through a special blood donation, and along with others like me, we arrived at a special training camp for cells like us. At the lab, the scientists looked closely at the blueprint I was using. They found that tiny typo, and they corrected it. It didn't change who I am, they didn't replace me. They just helped by fixing the instructions I used to build red blood cells. That's what this kind of therapy can do. Cool, huh? It corrects the blueprint, so the builder, me, can keep building. After my blueprint was corrected, I came home. Back to my workshop. Back to my tools. And when I started building again, the red blood cells came out round, flexible, strong. Sometimes the smallest correction changes everything.
That's so cool, Stemmy. So what you described is a gene therapy for sickle cell disease, and it has the potential to cure patients and not just treat symptoms. It's all done by updating those instructions in the blueprints. Science is amazing, and cells like us are so important. I'm hoping one day many more people will have this kind of help in many more places.